What's up, Digital Business Evolution? Welcome back to the show. We've got one of my favorite spicy little redheads here today, the one and only Bridgitte Carol Mallinson. I'm so excited that you're here. So, Bridgitte is a functional dietitian specializing in gut health and business coaching. She's also the founder of Gut Personal Supplements, geez, if you have followed me on Instagram at all, you've definitely seen me using Gut Personal Supplements. They are the best. She's got a twofold mission, which I love. It's to improve health and wealth for women. After healing herself and a decade of studying functional medicine and nutrition and healing hundreds of women, she realized even women who eat super healthy have a lot of gut issues. Amen, sister. She started a gut health coaching company in June of 2020, which skyrocketed to reach $1 million in sales in 16 freaking months. With that success, she focused on business coaching in 2021 before launching her personalized line of gut health supplements, Gut Personal. Gut Personal is not only female founded, but also female funded and operated. Gut Personal exists to support women living their best life, heal their gut so they can feel the best in their body. But really, honestly, you've seen Bridgitte all over my social media. I've been to her wedding. You've seen her in programs. We've done things together. We've launched together. So if you don't know Bridgitte, now you know Bridgitte. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm so excited too. Wow, that when you read the bio, it really takes you back,
Right?
back to 2020, back to when you and I were working together, doing a lot of business coaching. You were business coaching me through the growth of my companies, and wow, it just takes you back, like what
I
can
know.
happen
I
in
know.
that short period of time.
It's so crazy. So take us back for 1 second. When you started online, were you
Mhm.
already working as a functional nutritionist like in real life?
Yes,
Okay.
IRL, I was really working as a functional dietitian. I didn't really have a niche, but I always knew that I loved gut health. So I'd been working in private practice, which is basically just seeing clients one-on-one, but I was seeing them in person in Boston. And then when the pandemic hit, everything moved virtual. Even though I was working for someone else, I was still seeing clients virtually out of my home. And I had this light bulb, why am I still working for someone else?
Yeah.
Did the math, hired a mindset coach who was also an executive business coach. And I was like, all right, I think I can do this myself. But yeah, I'd been seeing clients for some years, and it took a lot of, confidence and guts to take my practice online, but it was the best thing I could have done. And from my bio, you can hear that financially, it was a really great decision too. And it's just
Yeah.
been so incredible.
Yeah. It's so easy to hear your bio and sort of a listener to sit back and say, well, she's different. She has something that I don't have. There's no way. I mean, I can sit here and edify you all day, not just for the money that you've made and the multiple companies that you've built. My favorite thing about you, and listen in because leaves clues. My favorite thing about working with you and then just watching from the sidelines now is how fast you take action. Like it doesn't seem on the outside that you allow self doubt, limiting belief, mindset stuff to get in the way. You work so fast that
Mhm.
I feel like it almost could be a fault sometimes because you actually have to reverse back to like not fix the things, but like
Mhm.
go back to fix the things. And whether that's building a
Yeah.
sales page or hiring, I know
Mhm.
you've definitely had quite the experience hiring and firing team members over the last year and a half, really, of building out Gut Personal. So, can we talk about that for a second? Is that something that's just innate? Are you just like a little fire starter, or is it something that you've had to work towards?
Absolutely work towards. I mean, I think it is easy to look at me and say, and it's honestly the biggest bummer to say she can do it, I can't. When I had started my business and I started, following people on Instagram, you were one of my biggest expanders of looking at you and saying, she can, so I can too.
Yeah.
And that's always been something that I adopted, from that point is like, if other women are doing it before me and men, but really looking at women and being like, wow, they're really amazing and they're doing these really cool things. I want to do those too. That allowed me to take action quicker. And honestly, hiring the right coaches and taking their freaking advice, right? I think, of course, when you're taking it like a coach's advice, you have to make sure that it's aligned with you. But for example, when I was working with you and you were like, hey, I have this thought or I have this idea, maybe you could do it this way, or what do you think about doing it this way? I would sit with that maybe for a day and be like, okay, is it in or is it out? Am I going to implement or not? And you couldn't be more right that at the beginning, of when I started my business, I was taking such quick action, but also it was just quick action. And I was really the only person involved. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I had a virtual assistant. Um, and it was pretty much just me as the service provider. And then as I grew my team and I had 3 businesses, I was still moving at the pace of, you know what I mean? Like, get
Yeah.
all this done, take aligned action, messy action. But when you have 3 businesses and you have a team, the taking the messy action is still important, but you have to have more of a blueprint. You have to
Hmm.
um, have more of a plan.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the hiring and the firing, um, it was a big lesson for me. It has been a big lesson of take things a little bit slower, which is
Yeah.
honestly pretty hard for me to do, is to go slower. It feels like, and maybe someone who's listening to this can resonate, it feels like lack of progress to
Yeah,
me.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, we did something interesting at one of our recent masterminds with our mentor. If you're a visual person, just like close your eyes and sit with me for a second here. It's the concept of almost like the telephone game. Okay. So we stood in a line with our hands on each other's shoulders, and we were first in just two. So we did pairs. So my hands would be on your shoulders, and me being in the back, I would be the leader. And so if I tapped your right shoulder, I wanted you to walk right. If I tapped your left, left. If I pushed you a little bit forward, I wanted you to walk forward. And if I pulled back on your shoulders, I would want you to stop. That was our communication. And we weren't
Mhm.
allowed to talk. When we were doing it with pairs of 2 people, very easy. We then paired up with another pair. So now we're 4 people in a line. And then the communication started to get hard. Like the front person didn't really know what the back person was saying. And as you can imagine, we did snakes of 8, and then we did snakes of 16. And now we had these 2 snakes of, 20 people deep, where the back person was sending a message with hands to the front person, no verbalization. And what we found, as you could imagine, especially because we're a room of visionaries, not integrators, we were like Dumb and Dumber. I mean, zigging, zagging, breaking apart in the middle, laughing, giggling, getting angry, pointing fingers at each other, blaming. And what the whole reason we did this was to showcase to us what it actually means to be a leader. And so when you talk about slowing down, there's an element of time that's required for your vision, for your message, for your task to actually get passed down through the chain or to come back up, and how many things can get lost in translation along the way. So, oh gosh, the slowing down thing, I feel you on that one. And it's tough too. And those lessons are hard where they say hire slow and fire fast, and like you hear it and it makes sense, and then you're in it and you're like, but I feel bad. Or I
Oh,
need someone right now. I'm so desperate. I'm just going to hire the first person that comes along.
oh gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, hiring is a whole ball game, whole strategy. We
Yeah.
hire our mutual friend Jackie Service to do it for us, right? So like we're not only hiring business coaches who are really good at what they do and mentors in that space, but also, hiring for hiring, which is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been a huge lesson, but I hope that doesn't like deter anyone from hiring, because building a team is such a beautiful thing. But that like visual of, I almost think like a caterpillar, right?
Hmm.
And it's like that visual couldn't be more true when you're building a team. We probably have a team with contractors of 20,
Yeah.
and I get this big idea vision before I just took action on stories, right? Maybe you were like,
Right.
hey, have you tried messaging like this? I hop on stories, message like this. And now it's like, hey guys, I want to launch this new supplement product.
And they're all
And then
bumping
the
into each
launch,
other.
yeah, looks way different than
Yeah.
what I imagined.
Yeah.
So such a powerful visual.
Right. Yeah. And just the time it takes is a little bit longer. So, okay, you go from in real life, in person, IRL, as you said, to now you're online. At that point, were you like, I'm going to build a company to sell? I'm going to build a supplement company? Or were you like, I'm going to be a coach?
I'm going to be a coach. That was
Yeah.
my thought. And what shifted for me was in the first 6 months of my business, I was really just working as a coach and a dietitian. And then it was actually a conversation with you that shifted everything, where I really wanted to mentor other dietitians to be
Yeah.
great dietitians. I knew how to make great money. I knew how to provide a great service and really fix people. And so really I transitioned into business coaching. So now I had these 2 niches, and it really wasn't in my mind to start a company to sell until one of our mutual friends and mentors, Chris Harder, brought up this concept of just being a well-paid employee.
Yeah.
Right? We start these businesses, we think we have all this freedom, and as the business gets even bigger, right? We were talking about the hiring the team, we are a well-paid employee. And as I thought about my future and visualized what I wanted, starting a family, having more freedom, I wanted this option to not trade my time for money, which is such a concept that we talk about a lot in the coaching space. But I really was like, the only way for me to truly do that, because I didn't love passive courses or those things,
Yep.
was to build a company to sell.
No big deal.
NBD. So I started that and I did that and I took on investors and I did all these scary things. We're actually in the second round of investments for Gut Personal and fundraising money. So I never thought I would do it, but it's so in alignment with my vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's so cool. It's such a different journey. It's such a different business model. It's such a big leap. And I just want to go back for 1 second to just acknowledge you publicly, because so many people will kind of put together a program or a course and it does okay. Maybe they do, okay in terms of success. And then they'll quickly pivot to business coaching,
Mhm.
because people will organically ask, like, how did you do that? How are you doing what you're doing? Even if you're not getting results, like you could be having back-to-back silent launches, making $0, and people on the outside will still say, how did you do it? So I just want to publicly acknowledge you, because you really did build a machine. You built a business that was working on repeat, generating $1 million. You had team members. You had done the thing before you went and started teaching it. And so, yeah, I just have to publicly acknowledge you, because it's the shiny object thing of like, oh, I could do this thing too. And people are asking me for it. It's low hanging fruit. I could make more money. And you held off until it was really the right time. So let's chat now about Gut Personal. One of the things that I love most about the business side of Gut Personal is how you have such an incredible affiliate program. Now, you run an incredible affiliate program with GP, I'm going to call it, but you also are an outstanding A player affiliate. And I know to be true because you are one of the affiliates that we have for Empower, and you do such a beautiful job. So can we break down, like, what does it take to run a good affiliate program? What does it take to be a good affiliate? And if someone's not sure what an affiliate program even is, can you just give us like a brief overview of what is affiliate marketing?
Yeah, I love affiliate marketing so much. So what affiliate marketing is basically making a commission on someone else's product. Why I really loved that being an affiliate was I didn't want to create a course for business coaching. When I was doing a lot of business coaching, I love the one-on-one. But I really didn't want to create a group program or a course. You have a great group program. I would say the best out there, abso-freaking-lutely, course for starting entrepreneurs or even entrepreneurs that aren't starting but want a group program, Power. And so I believe in it so much. And I think belief in whatever you're selling is most important.
Yeah.
Whether you're selling your own products or whether you're selling someone else's, people can feel the energy when you show up to sell it. So I
Mhm.
believed in your program. And then to be a good affiliate, I really believe you have to create a launch around it. You can't just, this is my belief, take it or leave it. You can't just show
Take
up and
it.
be,
She's right.
yeah,
Take
you
it.
can't
She's right.
just, right, you can't just show up and be like, buy this $3,000 to $5,000 program or even a supplement, that's lower cost. You can't just show up once in a while
Yep.
and say, buy this, use my code. I think putting it into your launch strategy, putting it into your calendar, scheduling the emails, scheduling the post, making sure you're showing up on stories, creating a launch strategy around an affiliate launch, I think is so important.
Ugh, I could not scream this from the rooftops louder. And when you say putting it into your calendar, I'm talking so often with clients, especially our higher level clients, about the importance of creating 1 to 3 income producing activities per quarter. So when you're mapping out your year, your quarter, your months, you do want to make sure that you have 1 to 3 income producing activities per quarter. The cool thing about affiliate marketing is that I can use that as one of my income producing activities. But on the back end, I don't have to fulfill on anything. I don't
Mhm.
have to get on coaching calls. I don't have to ship products. I'm just helping sort of push the product that I believe in. Like you said, people can feel that energy. How important in affiliate marketing do you think it is for, let's say, when you were affiliating with Empower, which, by the way, for the record, listeners, Bridgitte is our top affiliate. So she knows what she's doing. So she brought in the most, she made the most sales, she brought in the most revenue for herself doing this and then didn't have to fulfill on anything.
Yeah.
How important is sort of warming up or introducing your audience to me or to the product or service or person or company that you're then selling?
So important, right? You can't just show up, and this goes for your own product and affiliate marketing. Like thinking about them one and the same.
Yeah.
You can't just show up and word vomit to your audience, you know, this is what it is, here's how much it is. Like that's also an energy of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like take it a step back. This is maybe where like the messy action comes
Yeah.
in. Like maybe don't just show up and word vomit on your audience. Introduce it. Why do you love it? Story tell
Hmm.
around it. And I know when I was an affiliate and am an affiliate for Empower, I talked about how much it helped working with you, how much it helped me. I
Right.
told a story first before even saying buy this product. So I
Right.
think sometimes that like launch strategy needs to be a little bit longer than
Yes.
you think. It's not just show up, buy this product, use the code.
Yeah.
It's why do you love it? Tell a story. Bring us along for this journey.
Yeah. I think it makes sense conceptually when you think about something that's a higher ticket. Of course, anyone's going to need more runway. And you and I were doing lives together, getting in front of each other's audience. We were sending emails together, even talked about doing master classes together. Do you think that if a ticket is smaller, like let's say a supplement that's $50, do I not need as much runway, or do I still need that much runway because that product might feel not invasive, but it's like it's my health. So do I really trust this product or this person? Do I need a shorter runway for a lower ticket item?
Purchase. You could. I think
Yeah.
it kind of depends. You know, we've had affiliates for my supplement company that are so used to talking about health and fitness and supplements that they don't need that long of a runway. But then we've had some business coaching clients that are business coaches that are affiliates where they've not really talked about their routine or health and wellness. So maybe they need to start incorporating that before they're like, buy these supplements, you
Yeah.
know? So I think it kind of depends on how warm your audience is to that and how much you're speaking to it. But I always think that, like, you know, if you're selling a supplement as an affiliate, if you do have that longer runway, your, you know, your purchases are going to be much higher. So even thinking about it like that and having the runway can be really powerful.
Yeah. And I love that you brought up those two examples because oftentimes people, and we get this all the time, and I'm sure you do too. You probably with gut personal get, well, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a personal trainer. I
Yeah.
can't be an affiliate. That's not what my audience wants. And this
Mhm.
is a really important message for so many reasons. We can't assume anything that our audience wants or needs. We're all multi-passionate humans. So think about who you follow. I follow dog accounts, interior design accounts, nail accounts, hair accounts, business accounts, right? Like all these different accounts. So, who are you to decide that someone in your audience only follows fitness things because you're a fitness person? That's crazy, right? So, I love that you brought up these two ideas because so often there's actually an objection from someone becoming an affiliate because, well, Bridgitte, I'm a business coach and mentor. I help people in digital marketing. Like, what do I have to say? Why would they believe me? What do they care about if I have anything to say about gut personal? But the way that you just brought that up is, well, yes, maybe you're not sharing it every single day like some of your trainers do. And maybe
Mhm.
you don't have clients that you can sort of encourage them to buy those supplements because you're a nutritionist, but here's ways that you can integrate it into storytelling, maybe once a week or once a month or in a newsletter or whatever that might be. So I think that's really, really fabulous. And I just, yeah, the whole taking it as a real launch for yourself,
Mhm.
whether that's emails, doing lives, so on and so forth. I mean, you even created your own wait list for
Mhm.
our launch. And then
Mhm.
you were able to tap into that wait list of really warm leads. So I can tell you right now, audience members, that Bridgitte is a fabulous affiliate, but she also runs a fabulous affiliate program. So what does that look like? Are there like key components to really running a strong affiliate program so they're interested, so they don't fall off, so that they're making sales, so they understand new products? Like what do you do? And by the way, I'm a gut personal affiliate, so I know exactly what she does.
Yes. Well, I also want to say, first and foremost, that you guys run an incredible affiliate program.
Thank
So,
you.
I mean, Mike really leads that and does such an incredible freaking job. And I think he and I would both agree that the number one most important thing, if you're going to start an affiliate program, you better make sure your communication
Mm,
about the affiliate program, about the dates, about every single thing involved, how much commission they get, when should they be talking about it, what's happening when. Communication is the most important thing of an affiliate marketing program.
I love that.
And so, thank you. I think, like I said, I think Mike would totally agree, who runs yours. And so, with communication, the way we communicate with our affiliates is threefold. So, these are some ideas if you run an affiliate marketing program already. We have close friends on Instagram. So, we're talking to our affiliates daily.
I
We are
love
in.
those because they're
Thank
just
you.
they're stories, but you're talking to me on stories, but they're the
Yeah.
little green bubble for close friends. And
Yep.
sometimes I don't realize it, but you're specifically saying something about like a new product drop or reminding us about something or cheering us on. And when you start to talk about like, hey, affiliates, I'm like, oh, it's close friends. Oh, she's just talking to us right now. And it makes
Yeah.
me feel so special.
And even saying that, hey, affiliates, that's part of communication too, right? It's just being really specific and, speaking to who you're trying to speak to. So we do close friends, we do emails once a week, and then we do actual webinars and trainings twice a month.
Yeah, that's my
Um,
favorite part.
Thank you. We love them so much. It's really creating more of a community around it, which I think community is really powerful in getting people bought in to being an affiliate for your program.
Yeah. So if someone's listening right now and they're like, but what do I talk about on these webinars? It's a great idea. What sort of how do you frame it? Do you have a model that you follow? What do you talk? I mean, I know what you talk about, but tell them.
Yeah, I mean, so for gut personal, it can totally depend. Maybe we're talking about, we have a webinar coming up where we're talking about attraction marketing on social media. And we're talking about how do you actually make more sales without being, I hate this word, but salesy. How do you act
Mhm.
like a real human with affiliate marketing without shoving a product down someone's throat?
Yep.
So we're talking about that. Sometimes we're talking about a new product launch. We're giving them all the details of the launch, when they should start talking about it. We're giving them assets. We're giving them emails, all the details that they need. Um, and sometimes, it's a Q&A, like, what do you need? Where are we not being clear? What type of support do you need?
Yeah.
Um, Kind of depends, but making sure all the details are written out and you're in constant communication with your affiliates is so important and
Yeah.
probably the thing that's messed up the most.
Yeah. I would agree. And I've been an affiliate for so many different companies, products, and people just over the last decade. And some do it better than others. And some you're like, oh, I totally forgot I was an affiliate for that thing because they never reach out.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is so crucial that you just brought up and kind of we glazed over was assets. So
Mhm.
when someone is an affiliate for something, oftentimes, it's path of least resistance. Like how can I help you? I love this product and also make a little commission without having to do a heavy, heavy, heavy lift. So
Yeah.
assets are huge. When I'm an affiliate for someone or something and they don't give assets being social media graphics, copy, how I can actually legally talk about the product, or email templates that I can like zhuzh up and justify, but like give me a template. When they don't do that, all of a sudden it might not get done because I don't have time or it feels really heavy or it feels really hard or I don't know where to start. So, have you found that those assets are super helpful?
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
you're giving someone the blueprint of like, here's how you can talk about this. And it makes it so plug and play, right?
Yep.
Where you're like, okay, you want to record a podcast ad or you want to send an email. Here it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, zhuzh it up, put it in your own words. I think that is very important.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It also keeps like a nice parameter because what people don't realize is when you're an affiliate, or when you have affiliates, that is an extension of your brand. So if
Absolutely.
someone is out there selling your product or your program and they're edifying you and they're talking about it and they say something incorrect, they say something that is not true, they make a false claim, they have a bad attitude, whatever it might be, even on their own page, if they're putting stuff up that you don't agree with or is out of alignment of your company core values, I would be very mindful. So we do an application process. We don't just open it up for anyone to be an affiliate. Do you have something like that as well?
We do. Yeah, absolutely. So we
Yeah.
have an application process. If you're listening to this and you're like, well, I've tried Gut Personal, I really want to do that, it's joingutpersonal.com. So one, it's
We'll put that in the
like,
show notes.
yeah, really easy URL, right? From the beginning, I can just be like joingutpersonal.com, right?
Yep.
Easy peasy. And then that's where we have our application. We don't, typically publicly launch our affiliate program because we
Yep.
are very, we're just very kind of strict on who comes in. But I know your audience is like literally the best.
Yes.
So,
But you
um,
also want people that are actually using and loving the products, not just here for a
absolutely.
money grab. So I would assume most of your affiliates are coming from your consumers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
as it should be. Something else that you do in affiliate marketing, which I think you do a really wonderful job at, is incentivizing your affiliates with whether it's like little fun bingo boards or games on the webinars, or even I remember the first webinar I came to, I won something and I was like, how did I win? And you were just like, well, you were the fourth person on today and that person got a prize. So
Yep.
incentivizing, creating little friendly competition and sort of gamifying whether it's who's in the lead or what that would look like. How much time are you spending with the team really creating those ideas? And how much do you think those incentive ideas are helping?
I think they help a lot, right?
Yeah.
So with Gut Personal, we've had people in our affiliate marketing program for 12 to 13 months, as long as we've been a company. So we have to
Crazy.
keep it kind of, top of mind. That's
Yeah.
why we communicate with them, so often, is because we want to be top of mind when they go show up on their stories or they're taking their magnesium at night. I would love for them to think, oh, I'm just going to share this.
Yeah.
And what allows them to be remembered by that is the communication, but then also the bonuses. So, saying, all right, say we have this launch of this new product. The person to sell the most gets X. Or when, like you said, when you show up to a webinar, you get this free product. So it just keeps people really engaged and excited. And I'm an Enneagram 7. So like I love fun. So I usually come up with the bonuses, like
Yeah.
that's really fun for me.
Yeah.
Um, and I like to keep it interesting. We did a bingo card recently,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cute. Ended up being a little confusing because it was too much to do. So also I would say with bonuses or with incentives, keep them really like succinct, pretty just easy to do, easy to
Yeah.
complete. The bingo card, I think, was a little much, but it was fun.
It was fun. It was super cute. It was super
Thank you.
cute. Well, and it's just the permission for the listener that like it's okay to test. That's what we're supposed to be doing as a business owner. It's just always testing new things. You won't know until you try. Is there a particular commission percentage that is appropriate or industry standard, whether it's for high ticket, low ticket, the coaching industry, product industry? Do you have an answer?
So I think that's really interesting. And I was thinking about that as we were talking about affiliate marketing. I was like, I wonder if we're going to get into this. So for a physical product, what we do is start people at 15 and they can go all the way up to 25%.
Percent.
A
Okay.
percentage is
Of
great
the product.
of the product.
Yep.
I think for services based, flat rate can be great. And some people go all the way up to 50%. It's got to be enough, I think, to have that like that want, that need. What I see with like service-based providers that provide an affiliate program, it's not enough.
Yep.
And I've been a part of affiliate programs where, the affiliate commission just wasn't enough to get me excited about it.
Yep.
But then when the affiliate commission increased, I was like, all right, we're going to create a whole launch around this because it has the potential to generate, with Empower, I paid like a quarter of my wedding with that commission. Like it was a lot. That was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of commission. And kind of went balls to the wall on that because it was worth my time.
Right.
So with the physical product, it's a little bit different. I recommend, 15 to 25% depending on your margin that you have.
Yeah.
But with service-based, I mean, go high because then
Yeah.
you're going to get, those 1 to 5 affiliates that are so gung ho and probably bringing in a lot of your revenue.
Yeah. Ugh, I have so many questions. I'm like, I want to talk about the sliding scale and how you decide and what does that mean? But what I actually want to shift gears to for a second is a little bit of the mindset. So, has this been something that you had to work through? Because I know I definitely have. When you have an affiliate program, especially a 50% kickback of a high ticket program,
Mhm.
it could sometimes feel like I'm losing, right? The business owner, I'm losing out. I can't believe I have to pay this out. This feels awful. Also, there could be resentment and a taboo feeling of like, is it bad or wrong that I maybe have to use affiliates? Is this
Mm,
wrong? Does it look bad? There's all these different buckets of mindset that it could go down. I know certainly for us, we're always having the conversation on the other side of the coin, but I know also that there are a lot of people who don't want to do affiliate marketing or have affiliate marketing in their business because I don't want to pay someone out, right?
yeah.
Has that something that you had to like work through? Have you never looked at it that way? What would you say to that?
Yeah. So I think for Gut Personal, I've always thought about it as an extension of our brand, as really a funnel to get people in the door. And so when we have, let's use a Gut Personal for example, when we have 5,000 Instagram followers, but we have 200 affiliates, think about how small in comparison we are from our one account and who we can speak to then having 200 affiliates,
Yep.
maybe half of them very active in talking about us on social media. Think about how exponentially that grows.
Yep.
And why I love affiliate marketing for our physical product and really in general is that you don't pay someone until they make the sale.
Sure.
So it's not just like you're hiring a marketing agency to do ads for you that you don't know convert. You are using someone who believes in your product, who's being authentic to sell your product. So with Gut Personal, I haven't had that mindset at all. It's not really been this resentment trap. But
Yeah.
I will say, and this is totally different, with investors, I've had that. How
Oh,
much of my company do I give away? How much do I fundraise? So I haven't had that with affiliate marketing, but where I do resonate with that is giving away part of my company to investors. So that
interesting.
was really interesting and how much to
Interesting.
fundraise. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to unpack that. Going back to the other side of the coin, just on the mindset thing, if
Yeah.
you are someone that feels a little bit like weird or like, is it bad? Is it wrong? Taboo, whatever to use affiliates, or I don't want to give away the money. I don't want to write that check. What you said with the extension of your brand and exponential growth, really, it's an opportunity for you to look at it as, would I actually have been able to get in front of that prospect or that lead without the affiliate? And so instead of looking at it as I'm giving away 10 or 15%, or whatever that might be, I'm gaining 85 or 90% that I never would have had. And if
Yeah.
you're looking as a business owner, we should always be looking long game. So what's the lifetime customer value, especially for like Gut Personal? You have people on monthly subscriptions to different
Mhm.
products. So every month you're making money from that person. And yeah, whatever, it's not the 100%, but it's 85% that you wouldn't have had if that person wasn't introduced. Now, could they have come across your page one day, someday? I don't know how. Of course, maybe. But isn't
Mhm.
it really beautiful to have that opportunity? So I agree so much. I love that. Let's chat raising capital for 1 second here because there's so many things I want to talk about. And I feel like we're just getting started. But what mindset shifts did you have to go through to raise capital?
Mm. I think the giving away my
Mhm.
company, and don't get me wrong, there is an energy exchange, right? They are investing, they are giving me money. It's not just sweat equity, where I have a partner or I have someone who works with me and I'm giving them equity. They are investing, but there's this term and this concept of dilution. So when I go to sell my company, we're in the second fundraising round. I've given away about 10% of the company already. In the second round, we're just doing a couple percent. Um, but it's this concept which can be applied to affiliates. I'd rather have a smaller piece of a big, 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 big pie.
Yep.
And so when I take on investors, not only do I get capital that I can use to hire for marketing and everything like that, I also get brilliant minds or behind my company who want to help my company grow and be advisors. So the mindset shift I had to have is I'd rather have a smaller amount of a bigger company.
Mm.
Um, so that's been the big shift for me.
Yeah, I love that so much. And that's the idea of being a strategic investor, which, you know, I've invested in companies as well. And it's like, what are you bringing to the table aside from money? Because respectfully, there's a lot of people with a lot of money in this country who probably would want to get in on something like that, being able to help, knowing that you're going to sell it. The multipliers and all of that for the supplement companies are massive, meaning you could sell it at a really, really, really big number. And so
Yeah.
that opportunity is there for people to be like, yeah, there's tons of people with tons of money, but who is a strategic partner, really? Who's a strategic investor to come in and what can they help and what can they bring to the table? And how involved are they going to be? They're just, I don't want your fat check. Like, I
Yeah,
want you to help me and support me, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. How much have you had to learn along the way with raising money and capital and EBITDA, or did you know it all?
No. Oh my God. I didn't even know what CPG stood for, any of it. I've had to learn so
Consumer
much.
packaged good, by the way, if you're wondering
Yes.
what CPG is.
Yes. So I've had to learn so much. And I think, even with some of my investors, they've had really great questions that I haven't known the answer to, that I've had to say, I don't know the answer to that. Let me ask my lawyers. We had something really recently where I was like, I'm going to Google that on the phone, you know? And so it's been really cool, really interesting. I love learning.
Yeah.
Have I felt stupid at times? Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
It's been such a new experience, but I try to come at it with humor, being like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me get that answer for you. Um, but I think what's really been important, another shift for me is that, in looking for investors, they want to invest in me because they are going to get a huge ROI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to get, a big return on their investment. That's my belief.
Mhm.
And so me really believing in what they're investing in has allowed me to go into conversations with investors and be more confident and say, many of my investors are some of my best friends. So it's
Yep.
like, I know what I'm doing with their money is going to just explode it. And
Yeah.
so that's been really important too. And like being so passionate in my mission.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question, but it's like an assumption question. So if it's wrong, then just squash it. How do you handle the pressure? How do you manage the pressure of like holding, especially some of your best friends' money?
Yeah. Um, I think what's been helpful for me is that I don't need to 10x their money tomorrow.
Mm,
Is that I can have time. Last year, we didn't hit the huge, huge goals that I set for Gut Personal in the first year. I wanted to hit $2 million in our first year of a physical product. That's a lot of people
yeah,
buying
that's
the
insane.
product. So we didn't hit that. But in the middle of the year, it was anxiety producing because I was like, oh my God, I just had all these people I love and respect invest in this. And now I'm quote unquote failing
Hmm.
and not hitting the huge, huge, huge goal I set. But it was towards the end of the year, and what I've learned and what I've moved into, which brings us all the way first full circle back into what we first started talking about, was that I have time. I don't need to, in the second year of Gut Personal, now hit 30 million in revenue. I can hit 3 million in revenue this year. And
Yeah.
so it can be a quote unquote slow
Slow.
growth,
Yeah.
slow,
Real
um,
slow.
real slow growth, but that I have time and that
Yeah.
I don't need to be on a timeline.
Yeah.
Um,
Is
that's
there
been,
a crazy, stupid idea timeline of when you would want to sell?
yeah, I want to sell for 180 million in 5 years,
Woo woo.
which is very doable. And actually, some of my mentors who are in the space of merger and acquisition are like, that's pretty low for what you now want to do. Cause now we have
Yeah.
a 10x multiple um, of revenue. So
Incredible. Oh my God, it's so exciting. Ugh, I feel like we just started. Okay, what's your favorite gut personal product?
The miracle worker, magnesium, baby.
Same.
Everyone needs it. Oh my God.
So good. Is there a difference between like I know there's a difference, but is one better than the other, pill or powder?
Okay, so I used to say no, but for a while I was taking the pill and I took the powder again last night and I swear to God, I sleep better and I poop better with the
Mm,
powder. So
I agree, but you got to mix it in water. So if you're, 40, you might have to be like peeing all night. Just not speaking from experience or anything.
yeah, hey, I get it.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so before we get into some rapid fire questions at the end, which are just super fun, how can people find out about you? Where can they work with you if they still can? How can they find out about Gut Personal? I know you guys have like my favorite quiz on the internet. So just tell us what you have going on, shout out your products, let us know what you're loving and how people can find you.
Yeah. So if you guys want to try Gut Personal products, go to gutpersonal.com/just10. Should be awesome. Take the quiz. Really, we haven't talked much about that, but that's really how we're different and how we help personalize supplements for you. We also have just a lot of incredible resources on there if you want to learn about gut health and what that means for your health. I still do business coaching. I take like 2 business coaching clients on at a time. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And I'm Bridgitte Malley on Instagram. So come say hi.
Yeah. So with Gut Personal, because we didn't get into it, it is personalized. When someone is going in and they're getting really like a personalized supplement stack, is there also a next level that they can go if they need a little bit more support or something like testing, stool testing, anything like that?
Yeah, so recently, and this is pretty interesting business move from us, is Gut Personal acquired my services-based company, the Gut Fix. So now we're all under one umbrella under Gut Personal. So that's where we do poop testing. We have a package for that. We have our signature Gut Fix program, which includes testing and coaching from our registered dietitians. We have now on staff 3 registered dietitians. So that's a really big initiative for us right now in the business realm is growing and scaling that. Yeah,
Ugh,
it's pretty exciting.
it's so good. I'm so proud just as like whatever mentor, not even just as a friend.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of everything you've been able to do and build and learn. And it's just incredible to watch. So you're such an expander for me. I'm so grateful for you. You ready for some rapid fires?
Let's do it.
Okay. What are you currently reading?
Nothing.
Are you listening to a podcast?
Nope.
No new consuming. I love it.
Literally nothing. And I would feel so guilty before doing that. I'm not doing breath work. I'm not doing meditation. I am getting by and resting.
I love that, especially for you,
So
as they say. I love that for you because I know what it has been. And I just went through a season of stopping consuming for a couple months as well. And oh my gosh, it was so good.
yeah,
So
it's
good.
been really powerful and tough, but
Good. Yeah,
powerful.
I love it. Favorite movie?
Oh, golly. I just watched The Holiday. Love that
So
movie.
cute.
Yeah.
Food you can't live without.
French fries.
My people. What'd you want to be when you grew up?
A dolphin trainer.
Stop. What? I love
Yeah, or a
that.
vet. Anything animals.
Oh, I wanted to be a vet. If we gave you $50,000 tomorrow that you had to invest in the business any way you want, you could break it apart, but you have to invest it tomorrow. How would you use it?
Marketing, obviously. I would probably do a mix of influencer marketing, podcast ad sponsorship, and in-person events. Those 3.
Ooh, I love that. And we didn't even get into the difference between influencer marketing and affiliate marketing. We don't have time for that right now. All right, last and final question. As you know, because we're just buddies and you know everything, we named the company Digital Business Evolution because we believe that we're always evolving and growing, and our businesses are a reflection of that growth. So, what is your next personal or business evolution?
So my word for
Mm.
this year is surrender.
Ooh.
Golly. As a generator and Enneagram 7, it's not something that I want to do, but it's something that has to happen. So surrendering to the moment, surrendering to what's going on in life, where the universe pushes and pulls me. It's hopefully it's going to be a year of a lot of changes. And so surrendering to those changes, I think is going to be really powerful. That's my next evolution. And continually delegating. We're hiring more of a team right now, and I'd love to be working less in this next season while scaling a lot.
I love it. You see my tears? You see them?
Yes.
Crying,
Yes,
of course.
I do.
I love it so much. Is there any last thing that you want to tell the audience?
Oh my golly. I mean, stay in your season, like, it was so interesting you asking me what book or what podcast I'm listening to. 6 months ago, I would have read off a list of 6,
Yeah.
just being in the season that you're at, and knowing sometimes that you can still really grow in a rest season.
Yeah.
And I think that's really powerful. Stay in your season, growth,
I love it.
rest, whatever it is, stay in your season, stay in your lane.
I love it. The knowing, that's my word this year. Yeah, I love it. Oh man, Bridgitte, thank you so much. I love you. I love you
Yes.
to pieces. And if you loved this episode, which I know you did, and you learned something from it, which you definitely did, because we went deep on affiliate marketing, which was not even our intention. It just kind of happened. Do us both a favor. Take a screenshot, tag us on social media, tell Bridgitte what your biggest takeaways were. That's the best gift we can give back to our guests. Tag her at Bridgitte Malley, tag me at I am Jessica DeRose. And as always, friends, cheers to your evolution. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.